This is definitely all right. Hey everybody, welcome to this is the first. No, this is the third Tuesday. Man, my dates are off. So this is the third Tuesday of August, and we are here with another episode of All in Context live stream. This one is called "Cut the Gut." Um, Fitness during quarantine. So we're trying to avoid the quarantine 15, quarantine 30, quarantine 50, whatever your quarantine is. We want to make sure that we don't have it, and if you got it, that you can kind of lose it as best as you can. So I actually have some friends on with me that I'm excited to have on. So I'm just gonna get straight to introduce them. I don't have a intro video. I keep telling myself I'm gonna get one, but I don't have one, and one of these days it's gonna happen, but not today. A couple protocol things. Feel free to engage with us in the comments. Would love to see that. Be kind and courteous to people, and just enjoy the conversation. So first friend up, I have Mr. TK. TK, you're up. Tell people a little bit about yourself.
What is going on, world? My name is TK. Keon, first of all, thank you for having me on here tonight. I'm definitely going to enjoy this. You know I love being live. But I am TK, y'all, and I'm a certified personal trainer and a group fitness specialist with Camp Gladiator, y'all. So I've been doing that for about 2 years and change, and I'm loving every moment. And yes, each and every person on this video is definitely one of my real deal athletes. So glad to see each and every one of you, and appreciate it, Keon, for having me on here.
No problem,
That's a
bro.
little bit about.
Glad to have you. All right, next up, we've got Miss Megan. Tell the people about yourself, Megan.
Hi, everyone. My name is Megan Soliday. Like TK said, part of this awesome Real Deal athlete group. I live here in Orlando and I work for Longhorn Steakhouse in marketing, and I try to get those 3 days a weekend.
Awesome. Same here. I was thinking. I don't know. Did you start Camp Gladiator before me? No, after me. I mean, when did
Yeah,
you start?
after you.
Yeah, because I remember when we celebrated your 150 check-in. I was like, I don't think I got 150 yet. I was like, oh, I'm slipping. I'm slipping. I'm slipping. So, but I do have 150 now. I think I'm at like 155, 156. So I'm moving. I'm rocking and moving. So glad to have you on. Next up, we've got Miss Stephanie. You're on, Miss Stephanie. Tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Thank you so much, Keon, for having me on as well. So, as Megan said, I am also one of our real deal athletes at Camp Gladiator, with TK being our amazing coach. I live here in Orlando, Florida. My story is a little interesting. I'm sure we'll get into that a little bit later. Been with Ritz Carlton for about 6 years or so, recently furloughed back in March. So, it's a very interesting journey I have had, not only in pushing myself to have, as we say, like more check-ins with Camp Gladiator and to be healthier, but also finding my passion as becoming a certified personal trainer, which I have now done in that time. So yes, excited to chat with everybody tonight.
Awesome. Glad to have you on. That's your path toward this whole certified fitness trainer thing is actually why I wanted to have you on, because that's I think it's pretty cool, and so I'd love to hear a little bit more about it. So let me bring everybody up on the screen. So you're all up. I got your names right. Praise the Lord. I didn't mess that up. So one of the things that this thing is called Cut the Gut fitness during quarantine. And so one of the things about quarantine is that it like threw everything off. Like, nobody's going to work. I think, Instacart probably got a million more users, DoorDash, Postmates, Uber Eats, all these things to where you're just trying to figure out how to survive without being out and about in the world. And so one of the things that got thrown off is fitness as well, right? Gyms are closed down, are they still closing? No, they're not closed in Florida anymore, right? We're open, yeah. So,
Yeah, we're
gyms are back open, but for a while they were closed. I think for a good 2 months, 3 months, everybody was like, I don't want to see anybody. I don't, if I see you on the other side of the street, I'm crossing the street because I'm not playing with this thing. I need you to stay away. And so I want you guys to talk to me a little bit about how you maintain or you didn't maintain what you had going on during that time. Like TK, I know with Camp Gladiator, you guys switched it up a little bit. So tell us what y'all did during the quarantine for that.
So boom, instantly once quarantine happened and we learned about this whole COVID and this pandemic and stuff like that, we instantly had to pivot and switch up how we do things. We're all outdoors. All right, we got locations everywhere. We're all outdoors. We interact with people all the time, high fives, hugs, the whole nine, while we're working out. And instantly when this happened, everybody kind of had to back up and stay home and not really be around people. So we had to pivot our business and our mainstream of what we do. And instantly we went virtual. Literally, like in a week and change, we pivot, we went virtual, and we were able to do the group aspect live, virtual, in front of people, everybody together. Same thing as outdoors, but just virtual. And brought a different aspect our business in total, and I know that went for a lot of people that are in the fitness industry, you know what I mean? During this time, we had to pivot and go virtual. And now that kind of was a blessing in the sky because it added a different avenue to businesses that weren't doing it and are doing it now and kind of thriving because of it. And that it's been a blessing. It's been a blessing ever since. And I'm loving every moment of the virtual aspect. And because of quarantine, we have added that extra business avenue towards giving some extra revenue in there for trainers from different states and different countries, which is a blessing. So that's what that whole pandemic did.
Yeah, that was kind of cool because I thought it was cool. I think well, there are two stories. I think Stephanie didn't I tell you? Was it you? I sent a message about where I was like, "Hey, the girl that you posted, one of the ladies that you posted,
Yeah.
I went to middle school with, and she lives in Dallas."
Yeah.
And so it's really cool how that kind of opened up things to people all across. I think TK, you were like, "Hey, we got somebody in Aruba or Barbados or somewhere." And
Yes, all over.
Hawaii, all over. And I liked it too because I mean, well, I didn't like it because the way my house set up, it's not set up for. So I did it it was in the kids' playroom, so you can see like my baby girl's kitchen, little play kitchen set, and I'm like doing jumping jacks and trying not to hit the wall.
It's reality.
Yeah, listen, it is truly reality, and I think that was the cool part too because one of the things about Camp Gladiator is that it feels like family, like a like relationship, like that strong, and so you kind of get even a further glimpse of reality for the people that you engage with. Um, so that was cool. What about you, Stephanie? Like you kind of mentioned, I know one of the things I noticed is you kind of lean more into fitness during like this
Okay.
quarantine time. So talk to us about all that.
I did, yeah. I mean, being furloughed, I'd never even heard of it, I don't believe, right? And so when everything was going down, my boss gave me about a week heads up, and then all of a sudden, boom, here it is. And all of this hard work I've put in to getting my dream job that I've had for 6 years was just gone, just like that. And so for me, I took a few days to really feel sorry for myself and be upset about the situation. And then finally, was like, well, what can I do with myself? Okay, I've got this gift of time, right? There's been so many times where I said, oh, if I just had 1 month to just do nothing but hang out, work on fitness, and focus on my family and nothing else. And so I was not going to let this time go by without really like making the most of it. So yeah, I leaned in hardcore. Hey, I wasn't even working and I was still going to my 5:30 a.m. classes.
Yeah, you were
you
in
know,
real envy because I would have been like, no,
I know.
I ain't going. I ain't waking up.
Yeah. But you say it, Kim Gladiator is a family. Like seeing y'all, even on screen, being able to see y'all's faces, right? Like, Megan and Keon and TK and like all of the people that we see every morning, it meant a lot. Just to be able to have that tiny little bit of normalcy, even if it was for an hour, a few days a week, but just having the time. And I think a lot of people, it's very easy to get, really upset and sad and just kind of hang out all day instead of just making sure that you're doing something for yourself, even if it's just for an hour. Just move your body. And that's what I told myself I was going to do every single day until I was called back to work.
Right.
So
And
yeah.
have you been? Are you back at work? Have you been coming?
No, I'm not, and I'm probably furloughed until spring of
Ooh.
2021. Yeah, being in the hotel industry, I mean,
Right.
there's no telling when they're going to need my position back.
So did you like have any like did you go through moments of like sadness where you're like, man, this sucks, and
Oh yeah.
I'm not doing anything. I'm gonna sit here and watch Hulu and Netflix all day and eat pints of ice cream after ice cream.
Oh, absolutely. I told my husband, I was like, I'm going to give myself 7 days to feel sorry for myself. I think I watched all of Gossip Girl all over again, All American, so many of these like Netflix shows. I literally did nothing all day for like 7 days. And I still, I was going hardcore, and then I would have my weeks, I'd have my weeks where I would be, I've been going hardcore. I've been eating super healthy and working out every day. I don't want to do anything for a week. I'm exhausted, because it's messes with your head mentally too. It's not just that you're out of work. We still, I mean, yeah, you can go places, but there's very limited places that you can go, and you can't hug your friends. You can't. So it's like all this connection that you were missing, not just, your normal life. So yeah, I definitely have bouts of still feeling sorry for myself and just being ticked off.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
I will say I think you've made the most of it from the fitness standpoint because, listen, we be at boot camp and I'd be like, I don't even know how you killing it like you do, but I thought I was gonna try to keep up for a bit, and then I'm like, no, I'm good. I can't do it.
Thank you.
Megan, what about you? Like you, how was it? Because you work, married, and I think you're taking classes, and so how did the quarantine impact you at all, or was it just kind of like kind of switch it up a little bit? I mean, that's a dumb question, right? Of course, like no, I quarantine like
Same old,
What was that?
we had a quarantine. I ain't know nothing about that. I've been doing the same thing. Well, how about this? How did it impact you, especially as it relates to like boot camp and working out and things like that?
Yeah. So for me, boot camp and exercise Monday, Wednesday, Friday is a part of my routine. I'm a very routine based person. I don't even really like waking up that early, and I don't even go to bed early. I still go to bed like 10:30, 11, a little later. So it's not like I'm getting a ton of rest, but every time I go, I feel way better. I know I'm ready for the day, and those endorphins just keep me going. And I love the routine. So when quarantine happened, not just fitness but work, but especially like my workout routine, I was like, what am I going to do? Like, how am I going to keep some sense of normalcy when transitioning to work from home and doing school from home? And now we're working out from home. It's like I feel so stuck and trapped. So I think some of what Stephanie said, you take those few days and weeks where you're just like, you know what, forget it. Like, I'm not doing it. But like TK mentioned, CG, they transitioned to do virtual and online. So I did that. I took my mat outside, out to my porch, and thankfully it was like during March through like May, and the weather was like surprisingly nice. So that was easy. And then it got a little hotter, but then we were able to go back outside. But it was important for me to kind of keep some sense of normalcy, and
Right.
working out does that. So I really did try, especially when I was still doing 3 days a week in that beginning part. So it helped me stay sane through all of the other change going on.
Yeah, I agree. I remember I went to way more afternoon sessions.
Yes. So much
Mostly because I
change.
couldn't wake up because I was like,
Yeah.
and for
I
me,
did not keep waking up that early. I did like, it was kind of fun. I did like lunch sessions. So I would like
Yeah.
work and then like work out like at noon. And so that was cool just to switch it up, but still try to do it, 3 times a week.
and that's the cool thing about I think with this stay at home thing is allowed people to kind of work out at the schedule that they want. So like I have an Apple Watch, and I have friends that we share like friends on whatever that is activity app, and I get a notification like at 1 o'clock that says, "Hey, somebody just finished a workout," and I'm like, "Oh, cool. I guess you went and did a workout during lunch." Because it's so easy to do, to say, hey, it's 1:30. I've kind of done what I need to do right around the house or at home or for work, and I think I'm gonna go do something. And so that's been really cool. At first I thought I was gonna do the 5:30 waking up, but it was just so hard, especially because there was no difference between 5:30 in the morning
Mm-hmm.
and 5:30 in the afternoon because
Yeah.
I'm still going to be like at my house. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I don't have that struggle with work trying to beat traffic and make sure it's like
Mm-hmm.
I go wherever. So that was real cool. Was there any for Megan? Was there any motivation difference? Like were you less motivated, or I guess?
Well, here's the thing. So what did change was my diet, and that still
Mm,
hasn't gotten back to like how I would like it to be. So working out was the motivating to maintain. Just keep your weight the way it is. Because at first I was like being strict. I'm like, you know what? I feel sad today, and like, why am I not gonna have ice cream? So, or just I feel so like, why would I not want to have like some pasta or whatever? So,
right.
I feel like that still has happened. I would like to get back to being stricter, but I feel like with going to the office, I had to like pack my lunch, and going to class, I had to like pack dinner. So that kind of forced the structure of planning my meals. And now it's just a little more free fall. But my motivation was maintain. And like you said, cut the gut and don't gain the
That's right.
15. So
Yes.
Listen, that really is my whole workout philosophy though. So like I was talking to TK probably like 2 weeks ago. I was like, man, I just got to do better with eating because you know I'll eat. Listen, if you know me, I don't mind devouring whatever is in front of me, and so I literally have to work out just so that I don't grow ridiculously large. And so
And I have to say something before we move on.
yeah,
Is if we're talking about motivation through this, I will have to say, and I'm sure we all can agree that TK has totally kept us all motivated. So
absolutely.
props to you, man. You have been one of the most constants, right? Like in this whole thing. I mean, you are always so motivating, so energetic, and yeah, you're always just like right on. And I know for myself, like that meant the world to me.
I appreciate that so much. I know when I was going through my fitness journey, real quick, I found out that that was key when I was first getting started, and I had my first gym, and I had a coach that was, just on me and you know what I mean, keeping me motivated during that time so I can keep that going. And I knew we needed it more than ever now because when you're back
Mhm.
at home, you're comfortable. You want to sit, you want to eat, you want to find that comfort food, you want to chill. You're at your home. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? You want to relax. But I found out that I was calling more people, texting more people, and keeping you guys engaged,
Mhm.
especially during this time. And I totally understand and get it. So anytime y'all know it, y'all know it. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah, man, we definitely appreciate you. You mentioned like your fitness journey. I think funny story I have. I think my oldest son was talking about abs, right? And he was like, I was trying to tell him what abs were. I was like, yeah, these abs. And he was like, Dad, do you have abs? I was like, um, yes, but
Everybody has that.
you are you trying to see what abs look like? Because I'm not the one for that. Um, and so I ended up having to find because I remember TK posted a picture. I think he were at the beach or somewhere, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember he posted a picture on Facebook. So I was like, come here, son. Let me show you what abs look like. you know, here's Mr. TK. But I mean, have you always been like because like you're pretty you're kind of cut up a little bit, right?
Absolutely cut.
Right. Have you always been you know that way, or was it?
No. So yeah. So it all no, not at all. It started off. I think I was just getting out of college, and I wanted. That's when my fitness journey kind of really started, and didn't really like. Let me be 100 and transparent. Since we're here and we're doing this, I always dreamed about taking my shirt off either at the pool or at the beach. And it was just the thing in me that I wanted to do. Never could do it because the body that I wanted wasn't there.
Amen, brother.
I love it.
Amen.
Be honest, 100%, 100% honest. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that's what everybody needs to, look into and to do. You know what I mean? Feel comfortable in your own body. But for me at the
Mhm.
time, that's what kind of drove me to getting healthy and fit because I wanted to do that, and I've never done it at the pool. I would always have a shirt on. A lot of people that know me back in the day, shirt was on at all times, at the beach, at the pool, whatever. My dream was to take it off. Alrighty, and I started my fitness journey right out of college. I just looked at myself in the mirror one day, And he said, TK, it's not going to happen unless I put in the work and get there. So I told myself that, looked myself in the mirror, and I signed myself up for a gym, and didn't care how much it cost. I said I was going to do it. I was going to grind until reached my goals. And I started off in CrossFit, and I was doing that 4 to 5 times a week. Now I knew it was going to be a process. I had to change it. Had to change the way I eat. Had to change my lifestyle. Had to, do a lot of things to stay strict because I knew at the end of the day, that's the goal I wanted. So I was doing that for about a year. Y'all think these things happen overnight? It does not. Right? I was doing it for a year. True testimony, a year and change. And the shape, form, everything just drastically changed. I tracked my progress. And then one day I was down in Miami. And I was like, this is going to be the day.
The big reveal. The big reveal.
The big reveal.
Go to the beach. And I take my shirt off. And literally, all my friends that were there that day, I just announced it. I said, y'all, I have never in my life taken my shirt off in front of folks at the beach. And I did it, and the rest was history. Once that happened,
it's motivation.
I'm like, the gut is going to be cut my entire life. And I want to make sure I can share what I've learned. If somebody's feeling the same way, no matter what the, the goal is, somebody's feeling the same way, you can get there.
Right.
You can definitely get there. And that's exactly how it started and to where I am now. And y'all know it. The name of this one is Cut the Gut. And y'all know, and if you come out to my workouts, the last round of my workouts is usually called Cut the Gut. And that is just something that I have instilled in me the entire time that I want to share, provide for my clients and campers. So
that's gonna be my story one day, man. That's gonna be my story. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna get there a little bit later than you because I'm already past you, but I'm gonna get there one day. And one of the things that I thought was cool for me, I never really worked out for real. I played tennis in high school, so that was like my exercise. When I got to college, it was like I'm just chilling. Except for my last year, I had a friend who I think Gold's Gym had a deal where you could bring a friend. And my last year at school, I was pretty much done. I took 2 grad classes or something like that. So, I had plenty of time. And so she would wake up I'll be in the gym. Gold's Gym was 24 hours. And so I would get there 4:30 in the morning and I would work out. And that was good. But graduate, stop. Then I got engaged and I was like, yeah, I need to get back down. And so then I went to a spin class, which I had never done a spin class before, but let me tell you something. Them things ain't no joke. You be all kind of wet. And so, but it was always start and stop. It was never anything that was really part of my life until I started training I did Track Shack, their run series, a Fanatic series or something like that. And so I did that, and I did the half marathon, the OUC half marathon. Yeah, it was horrible. It was horrendous. And it was funny because that's how I got connected with Camp Gladiator, because I was there was a tent there, and Amy was like, hey, where do you live? I could have told her I lived in, the Noda Sassa, Florida, and she probably was like, oh, we have a spot near that. It's great. It's beautiful. But she was like, oh yeah, that's over there. There's a guy, TK. It's a beautiful spot. He's awesome. You should do it. And I was like, yeah, I don't have my wallet on me. I'm sorry. She was like, no, it's okay. Just give me your number and your information, and I'll call you later after the event to solidify the thing. And so she called me, and I was like, okay. And then I started with TK in December of 2018. It was cold. It was so cold. I remember thinking, I don't think I could do this because it's too cold. It's way too cold. And then he moved from one end of Kaylee all the way to the other end of Kaylee. And I was like, first of all, bro, you were 5 minutes away at first. And then I was like, I didn't want to do it then. Now it takes legit.
I commend Keon so much.
That's why I be 2 minutes late every day.
I was wondering why he comes so far. Now it makes sense.
And I understand, and I don't give, you know what I mean? Because the first location I had was literally around the corner from Keon, and he literally be out there by himself. I think he was one of my first ever campers.
I was the
Keon
second
is
one.
still with me, which I appreciate you so much. So literally out there in the cold, and we're next to a lake. That breeze
At
is no
5:30, no, and it was 5 o'clock in the morning. It was
five.
earlier,
Yes.
and
So
so
that right there just showed when you kept showing up and the only one in that cold, I said, he's got it going on. He's gonna reach these goals.
well, I knew I needed it, and what helped was, especially once we got, so if you had stayed at where you were and nobody else came, I might have quit on you because you know I love you, dude, but listen,
I need some more people.
I need some more people. And when we moved to our current location, because of, again, people like Megan and Stephanie, that you begin to like look forward to it, and especially when before coronavirus, when we were actually like high fiving people and doing workouts as partners, it was cool to be, because I know if I was matched with Megan or Stephanie, I knew that it was going to be pushing me, and so I need that because I listen. I'm the type of dude. I go into the gym. I go to the gym at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Do like 15 minutes and be like, I think I'm good. I'm gonna go home. So that's my fitness. That's my fitness journey, and I'm hopeful that it won't. It will continue, and maybe one. But I don't need to be able to take my shirt because I might be like I need to come to work and like with my shirt off, right? So Jason's on. Jason says partner workouts are definitely the best. TK definitely does not play. Absolutely, Jason. Listen, and then here's the thing about TK. He'll be like, if you go too fast, he'll be like, okay, yeah, you instead of doing the 2 laps that you're almost done, go ahead and do 4. And you're like,
go around the whole church.
right.
Give me the whole lap.
right. You're like, I mean, that's not what I was going for. Anyway, so Stephanie, what about you? How what were you doing before Camp Gladiator? Was fitness always part of your thing? What's up with that?
Yeah, so I always played sports pretty much my whole life. Between cheerleading and softball, always played sports. We moved here from Memphis when I was, I think, 27, 26, and I immediately started CrossFit. So I was huge into CrossFit. Loved it. I think we did it for at least 2 or 3 years, something like that. But I started hurting. Like my shoulders are always hurt. My back would always hurt. My knees were always hurting. And perfect timing for transition with that is the CrossFit gym we were going to was on the east side of Orlando. We moved to Belle Isle. And so I moved over here and there was nothing. There was like a yoga studio, which I've always been into yoga pretty much my entire life. So went to that studio. It was okay, but there was nothing else around here. And so for a good year, I just kind of struggled. I would literally go all the way to the east side of Orlando just to take a CrossFit class, come back. So a girlfriend that I work with, Kirby, at work was like, hey, you should totally come out to this Camp Gladiator thing. It's not as hard as CrossFit on your body, but I think that you would like it. I think I did 2 classes and I was like, this is perfect. Like, this is exactly what I need to be doing. Because as you know, with CrossFit, yes, it's awesome. You get in great shape. However, the whole workout per se is only like 20 minutes of your full hour. So a lot of times when so at the very beginning, you're lifting super heavy. You're trying to find your max rep, for a good, I feel like 30, 40 minutes sometimes. And then you get a really good workout for like 20 minutes. And so I just remember being absolutely exhausted after Camp Gladiator and thought I was in like the best shape ever because I've done CrossFit. Completely different. And it was 12 minutes from the house and I just like absolutely fell in love with it. Yeah, I mean, I love the cardio aspect because y'all know me, I do not like to run at all. And I can lift weights all day long, but I hate running. But because of TK, I actually enjoy running now. I run like a 4-mile loop around the lake over here. But before that, I never liked to run. So, but as far as, working out, I've pretty much been into fitness my whole life. And actually becoming a personal trainer has been a goal of mine. My husband said we've been together 18 years. She's like, you've always wanted to do this. This is something you've always wanted to do. You've always been passionate about it. So I think that kind of leads into it a little bit more too, as it's not just something I love to do. It's something that I actually was looking forward to possibly being able to teach one day too.
And that's on the horizons because come September, October,
Yeah.
you will be
September.
you will be like TK. You gonna have the CG
branding.
visor and
Yes,
and the
my
whistle,
whistle,
right? And the
my
whistle.
timer, my TK timer.
So do you have an official like date that you're doing it starting?
I will soon. I
Okay.
think probably the end of this week I'll have a lot more updates. I'm going to do a preview week. I'm going to do like 2 or 3 workouts for a preview week, and then we're just going to hit the ground running.
But
I'm
you
super excited.
and you're coming ready with like people because, or I'm assuming perhaps because you
Yeah,
like in the midst of all this, you also started like a neighborhood workout group, right?
I did. Yeah, because I was the only one without a job, and all my girlfriends were still working, and all of this added stress on them with kids being home, husbands being home, having to work from home with them. And I told him, I said, hey, you know what? Why don't we just work out in the street? So I think my first workout, there was like 3 of us. And now it's anywhere from 15, 16, 20. We've had 30 at one time. And it's literally just the ladies in the neighborhood. And now their husbands are coming too. And so that's probably another thing that kept me really sane is I had that to really focus on.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I started a little boot camp called Belle Isle Boot Camp in the neighborhood, and hopefully at least half or more are going to follow me over to CG as well, so they can get that CG workout in.
That's awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
I think I love that because especially because you know it's all of this is kind of born in the midst of a situation where like I wasn't expecting to be here, right? So
Mhm.
nobody
Mhm.
expected COVID-19.
Yeah.
Nobody, well, none of us expected it. Nobody was expecting, furloughs. No one
Mhm.
was expecting furloughs this long.
Yes, seriously.
And now you're all of this where you're pursuing like your dream is like
Mhm.
it kind of was like a push. And so I love to hear stories where like you're kind of pushed even though you weren't trying to do it. You were pushed
Mhm.
into that situation. So
Oh
that's
yeah, if it wasn't for TK going, Stephanie, you got this boot camp over here. Why don't you just come work with CG and work with me? And I was like, well, I have to get my personal certification, my personal training certification. He's like, okay,
right.
and
Sounds
I
like
was like,
excuse to me.
I guess I should do that. Yeah, okay.
Girl, you better monetize I mean, listen, you doing you putting in work, real good work for free, and
Real.
I'm glad you enjoy it, but
Yeah.
don't muzzle the ox that's working. And so no, that's great. Megan, what about you?
Yeah.
How'd you end up at boot camp
Yeah.
at Camp Gladiator?
So for me, I would say I didn't necessarily play sports or anything in high school, but in college I started working out more. And I always preferred group workouts. I think you were saying, Keon, like when it's just me working out, it's very light. I'd maybe do 10 minutes on the treadmill, lift a few weights. I'm like, I'm tired. And then I stopped. But I started doing more group exercise. And my sister actually went to college with me too. So we'd work out together a lot, which was really great. So after graduating, I was trying to find, that next rhythm. So I was in New Jersey and I was working out a bit there, but not as consistent. And then there was a phase where before I moved here, I didn't love my job and I was getting a little depressed. So I was eating more, coming home really late, not working out at all. And then I moved here and there's a thing, and I got married. So then we got on the scale. I'm like, the scale must be broken because it's a new scale. Sincerely, I was like, the scale's broken. Like, there's no way I would have gained 10 pounds. Like, that doesn't make any sense. But then none of my clothes were really fitting, but it just wasn't a priority. And then I moved here, and one of my friends here was working out. I just started to work out with her. It was actually one of my coworkers who introduced me to CG. And she's like, come and try it. Like, I go to a camp close to where you live. That's when I was living in Winter Park. And I tried it out there, and I really liked it because it was group activity. It was you're seeing the same people, you start a rhythm, and I was like, okay, this is great. So then when I moved closer to over here, like Hurry Ford area, I wasn't so sure. I was like, oh, but there's a camp right here, and that's where TK was. And you go to new things like first day of school. So I was like, okay, like who are these people? Like I already kind of had my rhythm, and it was great. And it's been so great to kind of see those consistent faces and get in the routine. And TK is such a great encourager that like I look forward to going, and I know each time I'm gonna get a really good workout, and then sometimes too hard of a workout. So I like not every time, but sometimes. But I really like it, and the consistency, it's shown so like great results for me just for keeping my health at least like at a base level, and not gaining another 10 pounds and blaming a broken scale. So
Right.
it's been good. And it was awesome because once I moved here, it's like the weight just wanted to come off. Like it wasn't even a thing. So it just confirmed why I like to exercise and keep it a routine.
Now, do y'all eat? Do y'all have an eating like we talked about me already? I don't have a eating plan. My plan is to eat whatever is available to me at the present moment, whether it's a Culver's burger or Zaxby's, Chick-fil-A, Huey Magoo's.
No, I
any of
don't
those.
eat that.
Oh, it's just me.
I do love Chick-fil-A. Don't get that wrong.
Have you tried Huey Magoo's?
No.
See, that's the you haven't tried Huey Magoo's. Don't try it because you can get grilled chicken. It's a chicken spot. It's almost like like Zaxby's. It's over there. Well, the one I go to is up by Millennia.
Okay.
Anyway, none of that stuff is. Every now and then I do Fresh Kitchen, and I feel good about that. I don't know if I should, but
Fresh Kitchen's good.
yeah. What'd you say, TK?
I said that's some good stuff. Fresh Kitchen is good.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh-huh.
I feel good when I eat.
Like an upscale Chipotle. I would do it.
Yeah, but it's fresher
yeah.
though. I feel like it's good. But enough of shaming of the food that I eat. What oh, thank you, sis. Listen, this is why Jason is my guy. He said Huey Magoo's fire, right?
I totally see Jason saying that too.
Right.
Of course.
So what are y'all eating? What do y'all eat? Do you have a meal plan? What's going on?
I don't know about y'all, but I'm normally pretty strict with like my macros on my Fitness Pal, but I mean I'm from the South, so I still have the taste for fried chicken, for biscuits. Give me biscuits every day. I'll eat biscuits every day. But I would say I follow like an 80-20, 20%. I'll let myself cheat. I do love cheeseburgers and I love whiskey. I just, there's certain things that I'll never want to give up, right? But I also know how much better I feel when I do make sure I at least keep that 80% in. So yeah, that's what I usually do.
Yeah, so it's funny. So Erin is a coworker of mine, and she is like, she should be on here too. But I don't have room for 5 people. But she really should be on here because she says, Keon, side eye, you know what to eat, because she is like on her Facebook stories. I follow her, and I'm like, man, I'm trying to do that too. Now, to my credit, I did Instacart early Monday morning, and I was going to do some egg whites, avocado, and toast because I seen people do eat that, and that sounds like, fancy and healthy, right? So and so I was like, okay, let me eat this avocado. But the problem is, I'm sure the guy at Instacart got the hardest avocado ever. Like, he didn't check it to see, like, is this ripe? He just grabbed 2. And
it takes 5 days for him to even be able to be eaten.
So I'm like, man. So I traded we had some leftover sausage, and like they hadn't been cooked, so I just cooked the sausage and ate it.
Okay.
But it was egg white.
There it is.
And some Pepperidge Farm.
A little bit less fat there. Yeah. Good.
I'm gonna do better though, Erin. I promise. I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna get there. Megan, what about you? What are you eating?
Yeah, so when Steph mentioned macros, I've like played with macros and doing a stricter diet, but for me, like my goal, like the effort, I just can't get it. I can't rationalize it. It kind of almost stresses me out because you just wind up, at least for me, kind of just eating the same thing because it works and it fits into your macro diet. Mm-hmm. So I don't do that, but I kind of like know what works for me and like what feels good. So I kind of, and my thing is the weekday, the first 5 days, like it's pretty basic. And then I give myself some leeway like on Saturday, Sunday. I think what like my saving grace is, I'm not like a big drinker. I'm a very social drinker, so that's not like a vice for me. And I find that helps keep everything in line. No, I just have a smoothie and like eggs for breakfast. And then usually I'm big into vegetables. So I always have a lot of veggies. So I think that also helps too in balance. And I rarely have meat. So just those kind of little hacks kind of help me.
Rarely have meat?
Red meat, not a lot.
Red meat. I was like, I don't even know how to eat a meal without meat.
Without-
It's like it's not complete.
I'm vegetarian too, so I'm very
Yeah.
having like sweet potato, tofu, and broccoli. So like it's very natural to kind of eat more like that for me, and I don't mind it. So
Gotcha.
that kind of helps.
So how long y'all cook? Like, cause that sounds like a lot of cooking.
I food prep every Sunday or Monday. I probably spend 3 hours at least cooking at least like 2 or 3 different proteins, 2 or 3 different vegetables. That is the only way that I'll stay on track is if I have it easily accessible, right? Like if I don't have something that I can throw, okay, let me have this salad, throw in some broccoli and some chicken, then I'm going to go for something else. So for me to be successful, I have to prep. Yeah.
So that's part of your like Sunday routine.
Mm-hmm.
You too, TK?
Yeah, same way on a Sunday kind of routine. I kind of get those. I kind of get that meal prepping down. Carbs, if it's protein, if it's that fiber. I need all of that throughout the entire week because with workouts, as y'all know, I like to go 110% also. You know, and feeling I get when I eat right is amazing. Sets me up for success the next day I want to work out. So if I can keep that routine, and I have to, because I love working out, I have to get it in. So if I can meal prep it and have it ready for me during the week, because if I don't, I ain't gonna lie to you. I will stop by this place and grab, and I will. You see, a lot of people do, and I get it. I understand, but break out of that is to definitely set yourself up. Try to put that time aside to lay out what you're going to eat during the week. Now, you can switch it up. There's different recipes, there's different things you can do, and play with it because you don't want it to be boring because that's another reason people like golf too. If it gets too boring, they're like, oh, forget it. I'm over it.
Right.
You could definitely meal prep it like I do and set myself up for the week during. And then shakes, I am a big Bullet RX baby. I would do that every day. And that kind of, I feel like over the years, the vegetables in it, fruit in it, the protein.
Protein.
Oh, no.
We lost him. Dang it, he messed up. Listen, he messed up my flow. That's okay. He's back.
That kind of holds me over too. I had a call, every time I'm doing something, teaching class, doing things, y'all know, somebody calls me. I'm sorry about that.
If you had an iPhone, I think if you had an iPhone, you wouldn't have to worry about that because I don't ever have that problem. I'm gonna give you a hard time about this Android every single time. Let me tell you something. If you're watching this and when TK is taking a picture, I'm like, TK, are you 85? Like
Yes.
he's like,
I know, it's so funny.
he's like, wait. I think did it flash? Oh wait, hold on, wait. I'm like,
every time.
It's
the best.
Wait, so that's my if it didn't interrupt me, that's my kind of my routine for eating. I have to, so I can set myself for those workouts, so I can feel 100% doing the workout.
Right. So what do you look? So I tried them overnight oats. I tried it. I must have had a bad recipe because I was like, this ain't it. This ain't.
Oh, there's some good ones out there too.
Okay, so I need y'all to text me.
Ones.
I need y'all to text me the good ones because I bought like 16 of the wide mouth. I don't have one out here, but
the mason jar.
I bought like 16 of the wide mouth mason jars, and I bought like some almond butter, which I was like, I think that's the problem. It's too thick or something like that, and I was like, this ain't it. Then it asked for like molasses in there.
Oh yeah, no,
I was like, I gave it to Ashley, my wife, and she was like, no, it's okay. So I need some recipes so that I can, because I like oatmeal, and I think overnight oats is probably like the easiest thing to do because.
Amazing! It literally is amazing. You switch that molasses for honey, and you switch that almond butter for peanut butter, and I'm telling you, it's a game changer.
All right.
I literally have a picture that I can send to Keon, and
please do because in the morning. listen, and I think the hard part for me is just, and maybe I'm lazy, probably a little bit, but also just with like having all the kids in our house, right, and like just finding the time. And me and Ashley, and I probably say this every time. Usually at like 9 o'clock, once everybody's asleep, we are done. Like done.
Exhausted.
It's like takes everything. If we can finish washing the dishes, it's like woo. That was amazing.
Throw in the towel.
If I ever get to a point where every piece of clothes, like all our clothes, are folded, I'm like, and none are sitting like trying to get washed or none in the dryer. I'm like, it's amazing. So I think all that to say, I love the meal prep idea, and I get it. It's nothing new to me, but I think it's really just being intentional about saying, okay. Like you said, when you said 3 hours, I was legit like 3 hours.
You know what though? That's 3 hours one day, and I'll probably cook 2 meals throughout the week, like fresh meals. But that's 3 hours. If I did it as I went, it'd probably be 10 hours, right? So I'm just like saving so much time, just saying, all right, I guess here, let me block this time out. Cook all these vegetables, cook all this stuff, and then I literally have all week. You'll find yourself being like, oh, that's right. I don't have to cook tonight because it's already in the refrigerator. Right. All I gotta do is throw it together and heat it up. It is such a time saver. I promise you, it's like game changer.
That needs to be my contribution to
here's my question: do you meal prep for Thad too, or does he?
Do.
Ooh, yes.
So if I start meal prepping, then I got to meal prep for Jordan, and now I'm in the kitchen and we got bins, and I'm like, man, forget it.
But that's not a joy for you.
It's a lot, but for me, I've been doing it for so long. I have it down to a science where I just have my like I just made him like make ahead sandwiches. He loves like egg muffin sandwiches or whatever. So I just fried up some bacon, some eggs, and threw it on a McMuffin with some cheese, and just put it in styrofoam. What's that?
Aluminum
plastic
foil?
wrap.
Oh, plastic wrap.
And all he's got to do is throw it in the microwave, and boom.
I love that you call the English muffin a McMuffin.
Like, I know.
Yeah, I put it in the McMuffin. It's like I don't think it's called a McMuffin.
I call it that because that's what McDonald's calls it.
Branded,
baby.
baby.
She made her own at first.
When you mentioned that, you're talking about we have the same name.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
The English muffin.
Oh right. I was like, oh Steph, that's so nice. You're preparing meals for your trainer. That's awesome. No, her husband's name is that as well.
Her husband, because she was talking about that earlier in the call. So yeah. I can see that being confusing.
Right.
Not many dads in the world, so for me to have 2 in my life is like crazy.
Well, I go through the same thing too. So my wife's name is Ashley, and I think around like the early mid '80s, I think there were a lot of Ashleys, and so I have lots of friends. Where I have to be like, Ashley, well, no, not my wife, Ashley, but the Ashley that, like, works here. And it's, like, super confusing. Now, Megan, you sounded like you didn't really want to, like, meal prep for Jordan. I think I'm gonna support Jordan here and be like, now, I think that's a bit selfish to say, I don't want to meal prep for myself.
Megan's owning it. She's like, yep, it's selfish.
It's selfish, but the thing is he eats so much. So if I was like meal prepping for people my size, I think it would feel like very attainable. But the idea of meal prepping for like a person who eats twice as much as me. But after this conversation, I'm feeling very motivated to meal prep for next week.
For him, you and Jordan.
Meal prep. And Jordan.
There you go. And I can help you too, Megan, because Thad probably.
I hear him in the background.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, do it. I mean, my husband, you've seen him. He's huge. Like, he eats so much food. So I have to double the chicken, double the ground beef I make. Like, he eats so much more than me. So I can definitely give you some tips and stuff that makes it so much easier.
Oh, and I think Ashley, my wife, is watching. So maybe she wants to be a part of that conversation. I will take those tips, because honestly, that I was saying that needs to be my contribution to the household, because she does literally everything else. I could contribute that piece, and she would probably be super thankful.
Yes, we got you, girl.
All right, so we got a few more. I got a few more minutes. One of the things I really wanted to talk about with you, TK, you talk about like and really all of us, like falling in love with the process, right? I think I saw on your somebody posted on your Facebook that said, "I wish I could just drop my body off at the gym and pick it up when it's ready." And I was like, "Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
That would be lovely.
Can we do that? Is that an option? I need that in my life." But you alluded to it earlier, where like it's really a process, and you even posted something. I was trying to find it, I couldn't find it, but it said something like, we think that these things happen overnight, but we have to invest in like if we want to be able to take our shirt off at the beach and have a certain type of physique when we do so, then we've got to invest in the process. And I know one, like I definitely have lost weight, but one of the things that I've noticed is that I'm stronger, right? So I remember starting Camp Gladiator, and my shoulders are my weakest. We always say my shoulders are the weakest part of me. And when it was stuff like, when you shoulder taps and anything where it was, the thing I hate the most are like the push-up rows. Like I hate those. I hate those. Whenever those are on the board, I'm like,
I know.
Quit. And then it's like, because I'm trying to finish. So I'm trying to finish first. But then if Stephanie shows up, I'm like, yeah, that's not happening. If Jewel is there, I'm like, definitely not happening. Derek is there, I'm like, not happening. So I'm like praying, I need all y'all not to show up. And then him not to do the
Renegade roast.
The Renegade roast. It's like, or the man makers, where you do like the burpee with the push-up row. It's like, why do that? Like, that's not help. There's got to be other options out there. But I will say,
we only bring that on peak week, so
when is peak week coming up? I think I'm busy. That whole week. That whole week.
Don't even try.
So like, what'd you say, Steph?
Oh, nothing. I was just saying he's gonna get you.
Right.
Don't try to get out of it.
Right. So I think one of the things that for me, especially when we talk about like cutting the gut and like fitness during quarantine, it's almost to the point where it doesn't matter whether it's a quarantine or not. It's like this matter of intentionality, right? So saying I am going to wake up at 5:30 or before 5:30 so I can get there at 5:30 or 5:32 or whatever time you decide to get there. And saying like with food prep, Sundays at 4:00, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna do this, I'll be done by 7, wrap up and all these things. And so I think it's really a matter of intentionality, and I think what makes it hard is like working out is not fun for the majority of people, right? Like, for the majority of people, I still don't think Camp Gladiator is fun per se. Like,
I think it's I think it's so fun.
My favorite part is when I'm leaving. When I'm leaving and I'm like, hey guys, I hope you have a great day. It was so good to see you guys. That's my favorite part. Everything in between.
And a lot of people, that you're not the only one, Keon. A lot of people, the working out thing, that is one of the hardest, thing that goes in people's mind is when they work out. Like it's foreign, it's not easy, and the only way to get there is to push over that threshold and really meet those goals that you want. And you really gotta try to touch everybody. You really got to try to find your niche and what you love about fitness to really stay with it for a while. You have to. And the only way you're going to is if you go through that process. Now, like I tell a lot of people too that come out, it might hurt a little bit. First time might be a wake-up call.
Might
not come back out.
Probably will.
Because your muscles, they're used to one form of, level or intensity or whatever. You've been relaxing for a while. You're waking them up. And your body's going to tell you like, hey, yo, what are you doing to me? Like, this is not what I'm used to. You know what I mean? And that kind of gets a lot of people frustrated because once it's that hard or it hurts or something like that, it's just like anything in life. When you want it really bad, you do anything you can for a long period of time to get there, even with profession. If you want to be a perfectionist at something, you want to be really good at something, it takes years and it takes time to get there over time. So if you do that and construe that to fitness and your goals and you put that in that forefront, definitely you can obtain those fitness goals that you have. But you have to stay with it. It can't be a 4-week 4-week trial or a
Right.
4-week, you know what I mean, and you think that that's it. You know what I mean? So that's what I could say towards that consistency and kind of trying to find in that niche of what you love about fitness and having it play towards your action and getting there.
Yeah, cool, man. So I appreciate you guys. Don't hang up when I close this off, but I appreciate you guys being here. I think fitness is important. And
Yeah.
we all have goals, and everybody's goal isn't the same, but our bodies need like fitness, right? Our hearts need cardio, and things like that. And so, I think it's important, and I've enjoyed hanging out with you guys for a year and a half plus, and it's been a joy. And I'm looking forward to many more Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. I just gotta this. I missed. I don't think I missed. I did miss last Friday. But I usually am trying to make every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And so appreciate anybody. Y'all got any last comments? Any pointers? Oh, I will say this. So if you're in Orlando and you live anywhere near Soto, what's that? The Hourglass District, Curry Ford West, any of that? Go see. Like, send me a message, or if you, I think I tagged that TK on a post. Contact him. Actually, contact me because I need some referrals. So contact me, and we can. And I think CG's birthday, like how many years is this for CJ? 12, something like that.
Oh, yes.
So birthday deals coming out. So check that out. Stephanie is gonna be somewhere in the area too, right? Curry Ford area.
Belle Isle.
Belle Isle, which is like Delaney Park ish area.
It's
Conway.
Kind of south of downtown, north of the airport.
Yeah.
Kind of in between there.
Right.
Like Orange Avenue.
Oh yeah, that's right. I don't know. Listen. Normally, Orange Avenue is my boundary, so I don't know anything east of Orange Avenue. But yeah, so if you're in Orlando and you don't work out, or you're looking for a change up, please go see TK or Stephanie. They I'm telling you, it is legit a fun time. In a sense, right? The people are fun. It's cool to see it. TK has worked up something really amazing where, I mean, even when you go to the afternoon sessions, there are people that from the afternoon session, either from the Facebook group or from just going every now and then. And so there's a camaraderie there that just is golden for me. And if you're not doing anything anyway, you want to do something, you might as well give it a try. So thank y'all for coming out, listening to our Cut the Gut Fitness During Quarantine live stream. Stay tuned for, I think I lose track of days. It's this day or that day is all I got. So I think the next one is first Tuesday and not third Tuesday. So every first Tuesday and third Tuesday of the month, 8 p.m., I'm here with some friends. Check us out. I hope y'all have a great night and cut the